Laura and I spent 2 weeks on the Dempster in July of this year. We traveled 880k of gravel right to Tuktoyaktuk on the Arctic Ocean. For 25 years I've always wanted to experience fall on the Dempster, but never had the time. This year I finally had the time, so we departed Smithers on the night of August 31st. We left a couple days later than we had planned, so we made good time putting on about 1800k in 2 days, right to the head of the Dempster. We had few stops other than an overnight at Jake's Corner and a few hours in Whitehorse. We continued up the Dempster another 470k just beyond the NWT border. In my opinion, this is the most scenic portion of the highway and possibly has the most spectacular fall colors in western North America. We spent the first week of September there. It did not disappoint.
Kitty, if you stare at that door long enough, you think you're going to escape, don't you? You think it's going to open itself if you stare at it.
Klondike Corner is the start of the Dempster Highway, and it's a great spot to fuel up because the next fuel stop is 370 kilometers north. We proceeded up the Dempster Highway about 70k and camped out at Tombstone Territorial Park. Here's our campsite at Tombstone in the Yukon. Just a beautiful spot. The weather's clearing. Fresh snow in the hills. Just arrived this morning. It was a foggy morning, +1 Celsius only. And it looks like it's been raining here for a few days. But right as we arrived, the weather broke. And it's just awesome. There's the road going up the hill there. I think we hit it just right. We're going further north tomorrow, a few 100k, and try and experience the peak of the fall colors.
love this thing. Gosh, what kind of traveling is this with a bed?
This is the confluence of Engineer Creek and the Ogilvy River. Engineer Creek is naturally colored by iron and sulfur. You can see the red staining on the rock and often smell the sulfur. This shit was so rough on the trailer and truck. That's pretty cool. On the Arctic Circle just after 8 p.m. Here we are in Rock River. We don't always stay in that trailer, go glamping in that trailer, hey babe?
Sometimes we rough it.
Gosh. So we're sitting here at Rock River, Yukon, just above the Arctic Circle, just below the NWT border, about 25K. And two rivers join. I'm actually not sure which one's Rock River. But the one on the right is mineralized with orange. Looks like, I don't know, iron or something like that. And then the other one is white, almost white. It almost looks glaciated, but it's not. And right off that point there is where the color starts. The orange and white go down. And the far one almost looks glaciated. Although there's no glaciers here, it's just mineralization of some kind. It's really cool rock formations up here. You can see. Anyway, as you go down the creek, it looks glaciated, which is really cool. There's Laura and Gus. I pulling a hill. And if you look way down there, you can see the highway down there. Crosses the Eagle River where Albert Johnson, the Mad Trapper, was shot. If you look way up over there, it climbs up and over. And just beyond that, at the top of the hill, is Eagle Plains. It's nice, eh? Eagle River. This is actually where the Mad Trapper of Rat River was shot. Canada's most famous manhunt. He was shot about 80 kilometers down to here. Rolling into the big city of Eagle Plains. Population 9. Eagle Plains is the only stop with fuel, food, and lodging between Dawson, Yukon, and Fort McPherson and WT. It's a distance of nearly 600 kilometers. In the winter, the highway is often closed north of Eagle due to blizzards with winds gusting up to 120 kilometers an hour. Travelers and transport trucks often get held up at Eagle for up to 12 days at a time. This area is locally known as Hurricane Alley. A beautiful morning. We got our jingle bells on. And this is Engineer Creek. And we're hiking up Sapper Hill, which is up there. Look at this muskegee stuff here. Sapper Hill.
So we're just cresting the top of Sapper Hill, which is actually a ridge. There's Ogilvy River. And I climbed up this little rock. And here's the top. It's 2 feet wide. I don't want to drop my phone off here. And we look straight down onto the Dempster, Engineer Creek. And that right there is our campsite. In the trees right there, center photo. You can see the road going in there. That's where we camped last night.
One thing I learned is that is all soft muskeg and permafrost out there in those hills. Basically everything other than the rock you see, the river and the highway.
And guess who it is?
He blends in with the color here.
He does, he's camo.
This is an old airstrip my buddy Kyle told me about. You can't even see it from the highway even though it's right beside it. Imagine it was used during the construction of the highway during the 1970s. There's Laura filling up her drinking water in the creek. spend the next couple days at Tombstone Campground, relaxing in the trailer and hiking throughout the day. Made it to the summit of Golden Sides Mountain. Actually, I think that might be the summit, but this appears to be the summit of the trail. A little blustery up here. Better than a day in the city, though. There's camp right down there in the center. Well, I made it about a kilometer down the Hart River Trail, which is a designated ATV trail within the park. It's actually a winter road, and it looks a little soft, and there's nothing to winch to, maybe some little bushes. So since we're by ourselves, we don't really want to get stuck out here with nothing to winch to with a 3,000 pound vehicle. But, well, actually I do, but somebody doesn't want to go. After taking a second look, we couldn't resist the temptation.
Riding high and free in the dark and velvet, where the angels be. Watch the skies, where the heart that's true under cowboy constellations. I'll be dreaming next to you.
It wasn't long before we had found the next mud hole. Can't figure out why they call it a winter road. And ATVs actually dug down here. They're pretty light. They're only, 500-600 pounds, those Hondas. They were scraping bottom here. And there's some deep ones there. Oh yeah, they do have a bear fence around it. All their food and coolers. So we reached the headwaters of the West Hart River. It's about 12k from the Dempster Highway. We're on the West Hart River Winter Road. We don't really want to go much further because we're on our own. There's not a stick of wood to winch to out here, other than a couple willow bushes. And there's a few spots on the trail, like that one, that we don't really want to carry on through, on our own anyway. If we had another vehicle, it'd be okay.
Ooh, that's squishy right there.
The other branch of this river goes to Heart Lake, which I've flown into with Evan in the Skyvan in 2009. We don't want to get stuck in this stuff. Muskeg and permafrost. Gussie! What's on your face?
He went out so bad. Look at how muddy it is back there.
Where the metal's tested, the sky's a map to fortune, where dreams are bested. Every star's a memory of who we used to be. Underneath this cover, we'll forever ride free. Cowboy constellations, riding high and free in the dark and velvet, where the angels be. Watch the skies for guidance, with a heart that's true. Under cowboy constellations, I'll be dreaming next to you. I'll be dreaming next to you.
North Klondike River Trail. And the leaves are starting to come off the cottonwoods. Probably time to start slowly working our way south tomorrow. Follow fall south, unfortunately. North Klondike River. So it's not a big river, but it braids out across a huge area. And it's super shallow, like an inch or two deep. A lot of the rivers do this up here. And I think what it's due to is glaciation. Not old glaciation, but winter glaciation. Where it's so cold that the ice just slowly builds and builds and builds. Pretty soon it's like 6 or 8 feet thick and a few hundred yards wide. I've seen it quite often flying over the area in late May, early June. A braided out North Klondike River. Walk across the whole river just on rocks.
Gotta love the sound of the Jake on a truck rolling south out of the Arctic.
Where's your stick? A haircut in the middle of the Yukon wilds.
Yeah, let's just leave it like that. It's like the bowl cuts my mommy's.
There's something about this North Country. It's like no other place I've ever been. There's no words to actually describe it. It's tough to leave, but we do have a timeline and winter's coming quickly. We packed up and headed south to Dawson City on September 9th. We'll have another video coming on the Dawson and Kluane areas. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.